Humble One, Haki Shakur Me here. Thank you all for tuning in, listening in. Yes. All right. Yes, so name of this piece is Overcoming, How to Overcome the Psychology of Poverty. Uh, I believe that this is an essential component from my expertise and studying history, sociology, psychology, as well as getting out networking. It becomes essential for individuals to have various levels of insights, right? I just heard something rather recently. It said, leaders see more and before more than others, right? So with that being said, I would like to give just my addition to this understanding, because now, of course, I can't say that I'm a billionaire, but I've talked to a few of them. I've kind of been in the presence of a few of them and had some sort of conversation with some. So we took a few pictures with three African American billionaires. Not that, necessarily getting coached by them, because again, now it doesn't necessarily impress me how much money an individual had, right? And let me just clarify that, because some people may not necessarily understand that, right? Because the difference between someone that has, say, 2 million and $10 million, or someone that has a six-figure income and a seven-figure income. Well, first, the 2 million and the 10 million may be different, but looking at someone that makes $100,000, and upward up to say $250,000 a year. I mean, it's different skills that need to be developed, and so I believe that first and foremost, there are some things that I attribute to my various levels of success that I believe that are the cornerstone or the foundation, that I think that if more and more people recognize and wake up and pay attention to this message that I'm bringing, I believe essentially that I will have more winners, right? So again, I don't necessarily need one star, right? And we see this in the sporting analogy, where we have, for instance, LeBron James, and he's a superstar, and he has Kyrie Irving along with him, but they can't match the power and the dynamics of the Golden State Warriors, right? So that's how the analogy that I'm going to use in terms of my success and how I'm different than others. Now, let me just make it plain. I was not at one particular time the most advanced thinking, the most sophisticated, the most connected. I was a C student growing up in the streets of Baltimore. So not necessarily by choice, but I just did the basics just to get by, right? And I realized something. Sometimes you pay a price for being average, for just just doing enough just to get by. And it never dawned on me, because sometimes when you don't have the abilities to assess individuals, you may think that this is normal. Like I heard a lot of people grew up and said that they were raised poor, but they didn't know that they were poor, right? So as I came up, I did not reflect on how my peers were doing. And so, but now, as I'm looking later in life, and I consider myself, I always did, it's like good, better, best. And so I was average. Then, when I started getting 20 years old, I transformed to do above average. And now that, I've reached the late 30s, early 40s, I said, man, I need to make this shift. Like I need to really turn it up a notch. And so, um, you know, understanding that individuals who, in fact, do still have money, you know, sometimes people that have money, they still actually can have a poverty consciousness. And we see that with many uh, individuals that, are athletes and entertainers who get the money, but they didn't grow personally. They didn't grow in a holistic uh, method. So, with that being said, there are certain things that individuals should be doing. I'll get to those to transform themselves, right? And first thing is, gaining wisdom of what are your priorities? What are your life priorities? And what type of quality of life do you desire to live, right? And ensuring that you, of course, surround yourself with individuals that are going in the right direction. Now, that may not always be easy. Some people may not necessarily want you around. And of course, sometimes you have to learn how to love yourself and appreciate yourself. And eventually, people will gravitate towards your message, your teachings. That's only though if, for instance, you are showing improvement. If you're studying, you're showing up at the right places and connecting the dots, you can position yourself for greatness. You can position yourself for astronomical success. And so, with that, I want to say, the key thing to develop is a disciplined reading regimen. Now, I always talk about how, and I'm very proud of it. Yes, how I read 100 books a year for 11 years, right? Now, there are several people that have done that, including Anthony Robbins, right? So just me knowing that, I realized that, I have various levels of talents and skills with the top thinkers on the planet, right? Anthony Robbins is, I believe, saw something worth $500 million or his brand, something I read. So again, realizing that and realizing that sometimes I get distracted because, I want to assert a more clearer message, and some people simply not as progressive as critical in terms of creating a sense of urgency and understanding who's doing what. So realizing that other people, are not going to catch up, I realized that I have to create my own path. So that's what I've done rather recently. I've made it my business to really think critically, knowing that I deserve to be at a certain particular stage or place in life, and being a best-selling co-author in a book with two of the most dynamic speakers on the planet, I realized that, I have some things coming, right? So, but I'm not going to like dwell on that, right? I'm not going to, try to say that that's like my only uh, uh, path to greatness, or that's not my only path to success. So, with that being said, again, realizing, for instance, that you have in your own power, the power to transform your life. I'm a living example of that. Of course, I don't like to talk about like where I live and and things like that, or what I have. I mean, even if I had like tens of millions of dollars, I would not, be frivolous, because of course, on some levels, I've seen it over and over and over. One time, I was in downtown Baltimore area, and there was a diamond store owner, right? A little jewelry store, and the diamond store owner, he came out and he got up, got in this little raggedy little, looked like a U-Haul. I mean, not U-Haul, a Yugo, a little small car. He just hopped in there, barely could fit, but he owned the jewelry store. And it made me think about, some of the individuals out here that are projecting these images that they got it made, and they they got everything going on, but they're going to end up like the athletes and entertainers, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. And unfortunately, nobody's talking to these people. So a few books I've read have made me realize that where wealth is, some of the millionaire next doors, and I'm going to pick back up because I'm heading to Miami. I'm going to the Robert Kiyosaki books. Uh, those are instrumental, in understanding certain things. And so here's what I do. Here's what I do at this time. Realizing that sometimes individuals out here, people, when you start getting up here in the six-figure realm, and the multiple six-figure realm, it becomes very, very competitive, right? It, in terms of, who people choose to listen to, some people want to listen to individuals that they see riding a Bentley or something, insane like that. And I think partially we can take certain pieces. I'm open to that, but, realizing that, for instance, for me, I believe in a holistic overall quality of life. So you won't catch me at a casino. You won't catch me at a stripper club. You won't catch me throwing around money, or associating with, uncivilized, individuals that lack character and integrity. And so, unfortunately, we live in a society where individuals may not necessarily have the moral, ethical, and legal standards of, overcoming poverty. Some people have a mindset that they're gonna get free no matter who it hurts and however it hurts. One brother just posted, just imagine people saying that they're gonna sell drugs to get to, and during slavery, sell drugs to get free or to buy their freedom to other slaves. So just think of how that would have looked or sounded. So again, here's where I am right now, realizing that some of the so-called leaders out here have not been as astute as I would have liked. Fortunately for me, I have enough talents and skills and a strong enough background where I can, make the shift into different areas, different networks. And I'm proud to say that coming up here, I'm heading to Miami for the Miami African American Film Festival. And after that, coming up will be the NNPA conference at the Gaylord in Prince George's County. So here's what's going to happen from these. Here's what's going to happen from these. It's going to be a different ballgame. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a different ballgame. I'm declaring. I'm absolutely positively declaring that it's going to be a different ball game. Yes, African American Film Festival in Miami, and then the NNPA conference. Right now, and you know, I am absolutely assured that with the experience, background, and training that I have, and the allies that I've created, that it's going to be some really big things manifested. So I've been very fortunate and blessed, you know, to have a supportive system, good, decent enough support system to allow me to not feel the need to be immoral or unethical or to sort to some illegal means to overcome the psychology of poverty, to overcome physical poverty. And that means that I've had to work, earn, learn, and return. Right. So here's what I want to offer and encourage you all to do. Coming up here on June the 25th, we're screening the film Black Friday. Yes, in the Prince George's County area. Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. Going to be dope. It's going to be pretty big. And also coming up after that, we're going to be screening not screening, but we're going to have a panel discussion around the Tupac, you know, film, as well as the discussion around that. So got some things brewing, absolutely. And so here's what's going to be going down. I'm going to have, you know, going to this film festival, going to meet a few people, but, you know, the DMV and Baltimore, you know, certainly, you know, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that the work has been already done. So I'm not necessarily needing any validation at this time, but you all can get my best-selling book. I got a few other books coming up. So be a supporter, share, subscribe, like, share with your friends, tell everybody you start tuning in to the Rise of the Success Scholar, as well as you can tune in each and every Monday on elifemedia.net. I won't be there this Monday, but you can look at some of the previous shows. We've had some pretty established, credible, upstanding entrepreneur thinkers, builders on the planet. So that's all I have to say, brothers and sisters. So I appreciate you all. I'm about to do a radio interview on WGPR. Let me see something. Wait a minute. Let me see what this WG. Let me find it. No, that's not it. No. Got it. Okay. WBGRonline.com. WBGRonline.com. And I'm going to go to it myself for the next 10 minutes. At 7 o'clock. So 7 to 8. And then I'm out. Got to hit some spots, make some things happen. Yeah, got to do some different things. Brothers and sisters. I'm too smart to be broke. So I'll let the Success Scholar. I'm out.